All new Pokemon Generation 10 leaks. Let's hop right into it. From the beta build of the game in the Terra League, we know that there's going to be a minimum of 16 major islands and a maximum of 49 major islands based on how the assets are labeled. So we don't know exactly how many specific islands there will be, but there will be a lot. I swear I remember another source saying that it's going to be like 33 islands in the game, which is still a lot. So it seems like there's going to be no more than 48 and no less than like 16-ish. 16 major islands though probably means that those islands are going to be like where the real story unfolds, and then the other islands are just going to be like for fun to explore. First major island has been confirmed, which I don't know specifically what they mean by that first major island. We do know there's going to be a central volcano on the map, so I don't know if that's the first major island, or maybe the first major island is where we're going to spawn in, because we're actually going to spawn in, like start the game out in a big city. It's going to be totally different. Think of how Legend ZA started off in the city, but Generation 10 will not totally take place in the city. The start of the game is like the only city part, at least as far as we know right now. I know a lot of people are going to hate that though. I don't really care either way. As long as the game is fun, as long as we get to explore a lot of the wilderness, you know, in the ocean, underwater, whatever, I don't really care where we start off the game, you know? I think it's still going to be cool. I think it's still going to be fun. The major large city, which I was just talking about, like it's actually going to be like a city. Apparently it's going to be a big city. The buildings should be taller than how Legend CA buildings are. It should be more so like actual like New York City. When you look up in New York City, there's just huge buildings all over the place. That seems like more of what the case is actually going to be in this game. At least 3 towns. I hope there will be more than 3 towns in the entire game, in the entire map. I want more towns, dude. Although it does has at least 3 towns, so there could be more. 2 of some kind of trials. Reminds me of Sun and Moon with the trials and stuff like that. A location called Relic Tower. There are a bunch of assets related to things called trials. No idea what they could be specifically. There are assets for multi-floor caves. Unsure if it's a loading screen thing or an elevation thing. Who knows? Maybe we're going to be able to go underground. We know we're going to be able to go underwater, though. That was in the league, the Terra League, that we're going to be able to go underwater. Which, I'm sorry, guys. I'm probably sounding like a broken record the amount of times I bring this thing up, but I'm so excited for underwater exploring. Let me know if you are excited for that, too, because we should be able to look underwater just like this with a bunch of Pokemon. I assume it'll look pretty, you know, kind of relatively good, hopefully, because it's going to be Generation 10, and it's going to be a bigger and better Pokemon game. There are assets for tree houses. Seemingly, Town 3 in the first island has tree houses. No idea of the context, of course. So, bro, tree houses, that's pretty sick. Probably gonna be some sort of like place where we get to quick travel to, like kind of our home base. Hopefully we get to like decorate it with like cool things that we want, just like an Animal Crossing, you know what I'm saying? Like designing a room. That would be so sick. I hope that we get to do that. I think that would just add so much personality to the game. And imagine we get to like invite players to our treehouse, because we know that the game should have some sort of MMO like online feature, some sort of online capability. So I'm hoping we could like actually friend people, you know, like pull out the Rotom phone, be like, yo dude, come over to my treehouse, let's just chill, let's just play some games. To me, that sounds pretty sweet. There are also like 10 different tree assets and a bunch of coral assets. Coral, probably for the underwater stuff. Tree assets, probably for the treehouse stuff. So Game Freak is upping their plant game. We also have a volcano and a desert biome confirmed for the game. And here's like some of the map that we know. So this is going to be relatively what the map looks like. It should pretty much be in this specific order that Central League said. So you can see the central volcano there. You can see we have some mountains over in the top right. And the bottom left will be the desert biome. You can make all the Fortnite map jokes that you want until we actually get to see it. Who knows? Maybe it's actually going to look like a Fortnite map. It totally could. I mean, shoot. We're going to have a bunch of different biomes, a bunch of different regions, which means like one area is going to be desert, one area is going to be like winter, snow, one area is going to be like a forest vibe, which the forest vibe, apparently, as far as I'm aware, is going to look like this. Xenoblade Chronicles X. It should look pretty sick. I'm hoping that the graphics look good. There's also this website, which I had translated into English. And guys, let me know right now in the comments down below, what are you most excited about for Generation 10? Or what do you just want to see in Generation 10? Like, do you want to see your favorite Pokemon? If so, what's your favorite Pokemon? Do you want to see a specific character return or some type of like new type of Pokemon? Just let me know any thoughts you have about Gen 10. The Terra League itself is one of the biggest leaks in Game Freak history, which brought together a ton of builds and just leaks about every Pokemon game. And now, here's the thing with the Terra League, guys. Not everything we'll see is going to be 100% accurate. It's going to be very accurate. But the reason I'm saying not 100% is because things will change behind the scenes that we don't know about just yet. But make sure to subscribe to the channel, because I will give you guys updates about everything you need to know about anything Pokemon related going on in the future. At least Pokemon game related. Maybe not like TCG stuff, but Pokemon game related. Maybe I should talk more about the TCG TCG stuff though. So the stuff that will change or whatever will be updated, and I'll let you guys know. So Island 1 is a giant port city. One of the most discussed discoveries involves scenario files as W01, which we think is Island 1. According to them, Game Freak usually uses the letter W to designate large world areas, and the numerical suffix would indicate each region or island. Within W01, there are references to a large city, multiple bridges, a hotel, a cruise ship, and structures such as a plaza and gazebos, suggesting a large coastal urban center, which may potentially be the area where the MMO stuff is taking place. Like, this may be that central hub area where everyone's just, gathered around and they're all, being friends together, doing whatever, trading. The same file uses the letter T as a prefix for asset sets related to smaller settlements, such as T01, 02, 03. Among these things are a treehouse, so the T is probably treehouse, and that's why we know there's at least 3 of them, right? Data miners are thinking that this could be a huge city and at least 3 villages and towns, in addition to specific points of interest. Among these points, the Relic Tower stands out, present in environment object files labeled as trial. This led some in the community to speculate that the tower could function as some sort of special challenge or even a boss arena, reminiscent of the trials of Pokemon Sun and Moon. However, none of this is more than interpretation based on the file names. Could have just been a prototype, which the prototype means this could have actually been in the game, and they could change it. They could make it better. They could make it worse. That'd be cool if it was like some sort of online like stadium battle thing. That would be sick. We're gonna see like online players battle. That would be so cool. Apparently there will be ports, cable cars, and other Japanese terms that we're going to talk about. So among the file from Island 1, there is also some sort of Japanese vocabulary saying Sanbashi, which is a word for like a pier, like a pier like you walk out, in the ocean or whatever for boats and stuff like that, while Mizunushi could be associated with the functions related to navigation or work at sea. Imagine we could like ride on boats or something like that. That would be sweet. These terms appear linked to the set structures, reinforcing the interpretation that the main island would have an active port with docked ships and well-defined maritime environment. Another set of files mentions ropeway, an English term frequently used in Japan to refer to cable cars. This, coupled with mentions of cliffs or winds area and a series of rock or cliffs objects, suggests that at least part of the map would involve steep mountains and connected by a cable car, reinforcing the idea of a world with a lot of verticality. So that would be sick. So imagine like a ginormous mountain. We get to take a nice little cable car, boom, straight up to the mountain. I think that's cool. I love stuff like that because it just adds like more uniqueness to the game, you know what I'm saying? Because we're still going to get the ride Pokemon, which I am a little disappointed that it's not like we're going to be able to ride on every Pokemon. They kind of did take the easy way out by giving us the Rotom, scooter that's going to connect to a Pokemon. We had the ride Pokemon in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. Game Freak, we're in 2025. This game's coming out in 2026. Just let us ride Pokemon, dude. I really do think that it's the easy way out. We want the rideable Pokemon. We all think it would be so awesome and amazing. So I hope we get to see it because, I really want to see it. The Desert, Jungle, Volcano, and Cave Biomes. Series of nominal biome terrains. There is Z Biome Desert file, height map, texture models indicating a desert biome assembled with all necessarily technical elements. Another block of files references Z Biome Volcano, including height maps, detail maps, splat maps, and other components typical of a volcano terrain with lava, ash, and void areas. Cave floor and wall textures appear. Let's go, underwater, baby! As well as a robust set of jungle assets, leaves, vines, trunks, and branches associated with a word identified as W50. Elsewhere, lava materials linked to W08 indicate that an 8th island or region of the same project would have magma areas possibly linked to a local volcano. All of this reinforces the impression that the game would explore a wide variety of biomes distributed amongst several independent islands or zones. That's so awesome. That is so exciting because we will really get to see some new Pokemon in their element. You know what I'm saying? Like fire type, whatever. Magcargo, bro. That fool's gonna be chilling out in that volcano. I'm 99% certain that that confirms Magcargo being in this game if there is a volcano. So now with that being said, we know of, there's Pikachu gonna be in the game. With that being said, there's gonna be Raichu, Magcargo probably because of this. So, we could just kind of theorize and base off of the leaks like what Pokemon will be in the game. There are also scenes dedicated to a gimmick system such as hidden items, Pokemon spawners, and something called Wind Motor, which likely controls wind effects in gameplay. The gimmick, obviously the evolution gimmick, we don't really know of yet. This organization led miners to see W50 as some sort of test island where a space in the background that system teams would experiment with general open world mechanics, from jungle and beach behavior to wind puzzles and encounter placement. If this interpretation is correct, some of what appears in W50 may never make it to the final project. So that's cool, just like a test island where they could test everything out. Beyond the numbered islands, scenes directly linked to the developer names also appear, test camps, script events, and isolated experiments. These are small personal laboratories within the same project, featuring battle interfaces, Pokedex, HUDs, and a messaging system in the test versions. Messaging systems. Ooh, that's interesting. Do you think we're going to be able to like message other players in the game? Who knows? So essentially, they're just testing things out for the most part. Like they're just trying to just test a bunch of things out. Okay, so here's like the ride mechanics, the mounts and stuff like that, which we kind of thought that there would be the rideable Pokemon, as I was saying. There could be some aerial trials where you could fly through circles or ride a Pokemon, gaining boosts and special effects. Some new animations are being jumping, gliding, diving, and flying animations. Charizard has a diving animation, which probably doesn't mean he's going underwater, probably just like, you know, how he's flying in the sky and he's like diving down in the sky. But yeah, we're apparently not going to be able to ride them just like in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, which is kind of unfortunate. So apparently we're going to have our own vehicle in the game, like a car or something like that. Besides the riding Pokemon, we also have scooters, which I don't know, maybe the vehicle could just be the scooter, or maybe the vehicle is separate from the scooter. Based on the statement though, part of the community began to believe in a riding system that is more extensive than previous titles, with the possibility of riding different Pokemon and even using specific vehicles in urban areas. So yeah, maybe in cities we can use cars. I think that'd be kind of interesting. Like, bro, GTA in Pokemon, who knows? Older Pokemon already present in the build. So we have Pikachu, Charizard, Ghastly, Gyarados with a gender variation, Tropius, Shinx, Luxio, Luxray, Lucario, Lumineon, which apparently that Lumineon leak from like a year ago was real. Apparently. I don't know, that's what I've heard though. Sandygast, Copperajah, and Snom. The presence of these names suggests the team is already working on return models and animations for these specific species within the Gaia project. That doesn't necessarily mean that these will 100% still be in the game when it's released, but if I had to guess, probably most of these will be in the game. I'm so excited. Let me know how you guys feel about this. If you're real and watching this far in the video, comment down below. Flying. Let me know what you want the next one of the day to be. Thank you so much to all the channel members of the channel. You guys are so amazing. Leave a like for more Pokemon news, leaks, and updates. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.